What a beautiful day. I wonder how long it's gonna last. Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Pacific Drive. Timing could not have been more perfect if I planned it. Oh, wow. Anyway, Tobias has what the menu screen calls a dubious plan. And we are the ones that are forced to go undertake it. But first, we've got some stuff to get done around here. We want to mess with all of the upgrades we possibly can. And we're getting a fax. The weather outside of the Appalachians today is looking great, folks. Remember, if you're hiking high into the woods, even the interference feels like a breath of fresh air. Honestly, when you're in here, it's like you're being smothered, but not always. Now, what can we get that would make this easier? We've got the Investigator module. This upgrade for the Tinker Station will report back to you which elements of a diagnosis are correct. A new chip also adds the ability to spend anchor energy to scan the car for abnormalities. Yeah, now this is what we figured out at the end of the last part. I think it is absolutely brilliant that you have this complex system of just weirdness that can occur. Like, that's an example of just looking at the complexity of the game you created and saying, we could do something really neat with that. And just like real mechanic work, it can be a real pain to diagnose what's wrong with it. Now, we fixed the quirk of the radio causing the trunk to open, but there's still one causing this rear right door to open. So maybe we'll want to mess with that as well. Honestly, we really don't need stuff like that happening when we're trying to run, which I spent the entire last episode dealing with. And better than before. Alright, let's investigate this. So we get in the car, right? You're fine. Radio on, you open. Actually, wait, no. You know what we'll do? Let's turn you on and find out if you close when we turn you off. That way we can find out if it's specifically turning you on or if it's just the toggle. There we are. So, two distinct quirks tied to the same trigger, which even further adds to the complexity. Okay, we can fix it then, which of course won't be free. Alright, so that'll be radio switches on, and then rear right door opens. Let's do it. Correct. Now our fix is probably going to be a mechanics kit, okay. I don't know why it does that, but we are now fixed. Of course, given the possibility for subtlety, there could be other problems we have that we don't even know about, but I'm sure will reveal themselves at the dumbest possible moment, you know? I mean, something like switching the radio to a certain station causes the gas tank to explode, but live and learn. And really, that's what this game is about, isn't it? There's so much to learn, but it's so rewarding. Like, even when I was having problems back in, like, part 3, I just felt like so motivated. Like, that's the difference between being frustrated and being motivated, is feeling like you can work out what went wrong. Like, feeling like you have something you want to try the next time. And this game is just full of that. Hang on, wait, let's put you on the ground and see if we can do that. We can, even if the gravity situation is a little strange. If we build the lightning rod, we could actually keep going with this. I mean, remember, we don't just have to unlock the useful upgrades, we have to unlock what's beyond them as well. So if we do that, we also have the opportunity to get the hydro generator. In other words, actual electricity from raindrops. Now that would be something. Also, mini turbine, a large propeller to capture wind energy, kind of a janky concept? Could be. Does it look just a little amateur? It might. But does it work? Great Scott, it certainly does. Alright, I think water is probably the way to go. I mean, wind may be more common, but it generates a little bit more power with the hydro, and it does rain a lot. Now, back to this, we can get... Ooh, we can afford the powered boots. It's a lot of plasma. It's a lot of everything, really. And we're not falling too often. Watch that become an issue now. And remember, we are in the mid-zone now, so a lot of new challenges potentially coming in. But the lead apron, 20% rad resistance, that is something we want. There we go. Shaggy Scrambler. Oh yeah, we didn't have time to read about you before. By the way, I just love how it's your own screenshot of the moment you scan them. I don't know, it's one of those things that makes you feel like you're doing some research as well. Central Exchange Monitoring, October 2nd, 1967. We nearly got him, Sally. We were within an inch of catching that Scott guy. Ah, yes, the great Scott. We almost did it. I swear to you, we're gonna triumph where the regulars just can't. After 11 months hiding out in the zone, stealing cars, breaking into shelters, taking food. You know how we were gonna do it? Anomalies. We used roadblocks to funnel them deeper to where we knew these beastly malfunction things were. And you know what they did? A whole pack of them descended on his car, right in front of us. His engine dies, his battery burns out, his steering locks. He ends up stuck there in the middle of the road with nothing but his regrets. And then, somehow, he still gets away somehow, just melting into the darkness. I guess it didn't help that all our cars had started malfunctioning too. But that's not what matters. Mark my words, we'll catch him next time. Some of these don't really tell me too much about the thing itself. But whatever, we've got places to be. Tobias, I'm curious to know what it is you're planning. Wow, that's inopportune. That's really inopportune. We're gonna need a whole lot more exploring done. Tell you what, let's try and make our way out to here. It's a long way out, but maybe it'll show us a bit deeper into the mid-zone? Beautiful day's back. So that's a good sign, right? Actually, what are we doing in terms of abilities? So, say I want something to happen when I press space, right? That's how these things work. Skid on demand. Right. I was wondering why the handbrake wasn't working. But I guess it's something we have to add. Well, handbrake is usually space in a game. Let's add that. And now what else? Well, control for the Limpulse emitter. Prevent unwanted hangers-on making contact with the vehicle. It does use charge. But we can do that. Control for you. And then there's Arc Dock. Limb enhanced first aid attention on the go. We hold down F for you. Once more, let's ride. The more we make this thing ours, the more we add to it, even if it's just little things here and there. There's another quirk associated with you, and that's the headlights. It's all the headlights. But it doesn't happen every time. Yeah, okay, no, we're putting you back where we found you. We're not ready to go anywhere. Whole lot of preamble in this part. A door just fell off. Like, a door actually just fell off. No, it wasn't that either. Perhaps it was the switch off. So in this case, it was any car door will open when the lights switch off. It's not the only thing, though. Now, how's about the door falling off? Guess we'll just have to live with it for now. And try and keep an eye out as we go. There's so many things that want these doors to open, all so particular. But now we're off 20 minutes into this record session. To be honest, that's not a complaint. Heavy fog and lots of bunnies. Well, hey, on the bright side, maybe we'll get the chance to test some of our new abilities. I mean, normally I can't get up to speed enough for the handbrake to be needed, but the Limpulse emitter? It's about time, right? Thankfully, there's a lot of limb up ahead.
Hey, driver. Sorry about all that mess with Oppie. There's no question, Oppie is a once-in-a-generation genius. I've watched her manipulate wavelengths with nanometer precision without batting an eye. So, yeah, to see her go from being the sharpest person in the room to what she is now is disappointing. This place, it leeches away your sanity day by day. So for Oppie to live here in complete isolation, locked away with only bad memories and expired medication, nothing good comes of that.
I'd feel a hell of a lot better if I knew why she suddenly cares so much about the remnants.
So, if I recall, you guys were pretty excited about this as well in the moment. But let's just start scrapping this first before we do anything hasty. Real nerve-wracking to do this right alongside that spinning death. But we do a lot of things alongside a lot of things in the zone. It's just how it is.
Speaking of Oppie, you're not gonna like this, Francis, but I'm starting to think we can't do this alone. Look, it's not that I doubt our abilities, but no one knows the zone like that old man.
You heard what she said. She'll sabotage this remnant before helping us.
Right. Well, she'll come around to our jobs.
No, she won't. Nothing in the 13 years we spent in R&D prove that she's open to working with anyone.
She dug her heels in so deep that she wrestled everyone down into the grave with her. I can't be involved if she is.
Well, you're gonna have to learn to put that aside.
What are you talking about? This is the entire reason we stayed behind, to write the record of the zone. Not about the experiments and the technology, but to tell the legends of the land.
I don't want anything to do with her. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want her advice. I don't want to hear her goddamn voice.
This isn't like you. What's going on, Francis? Is there something I should know?
No.
All your work in Lim R&D, all the time you spent, your entire career, your entire life. You sacrificed it all for Ada, and how did they thank you? A black hole in your resume, where you can't tell anyone what you did. You couldn't even tell people where you wiped your ass for 10 years. So no, I'm not letting this go. Not for me, but especially not for you.
That's not... Never mind.
You know, sometimes I wonder, how much of you staying here was actually to hunt these legends? Or if it was because you had nowhere else to go?
Thing about the zone, across all incarnations of the zone and media, is that you'll always have those who come here because they fit in nowhere else. It's actually not that uncommon. And honestly, I think I might fall into that camp as well. Open up. Need to see all you've got. Take. It's important to be able to craft on the fly. Can I? Oh my god, look at you all! Go on, you. Get! Oh my god. Controls. Oh, it doesn't interact. None of this interacts. Or maybe it did for a moment there. Okay, come on, Happy. We are leaving. Well, one of us is leaving. We've gotten real lucky so far. Okay, let's carefully avoid that thing in the brush and grab our second anchor. We really need to start getting more unstable and corrupted energy. That's what's gonna forge our research ahead further. There you go. You need to leave me alone. And we out. If an abductor gets a hold of us, we'll lose our happy hair. Ooh, what is this? Is this where they come from? It's coded the same way. Beating heart. It's been at least 2 months now, and I'm the last member of our team left out here, totally lost. I have no idea what day it is, where I am, where I should be headed, even which way might be north. The roads themselves seem to be changing, and those barriers that the government installed open and close with a mind of their own. I don't know if I'm ever going to get out. I've only been able to keep going thanks to magical piles of semi-organic junk that somehow knit the van back together after whatever thing smashed it apart last time around. I can get hit by electricity or dragged into a tree 10 times over, but these things patch everything up better than any mechanic I ever knew. And then I just drive on into the forest once more, trying the next junction. That's the story of the last living member of the Bugwatch team. Stuck out here forever because we came to record a dumb show about insects. Good thing we got this, because you stole our hair. That's alright. Yeah, may it find happier pastures away from us. In the meantime, this is very, very good knowledge. The knowledge that these things are out here, really, it seems like everything we could conceivably need could be found out here. You know, it's sort of like a roguelike, but it's a very forgiving roguelike. Actually, here would be a good place to rest. Because look, there's a car back there, gas right here to keep us going, and another happy hair. Thank you. I like to think it's the same one that found its way back to me. They're so friendly. Yeah, no, I knew that would be a stretch. Thing is, I'm pretty sure one of our wheels is messed up, and so we're gonna want a sealing kit. Hang on, what's wrong with you? Yes, you're flat. So it's not necessarily tied to your health. Alright, well that's another reason why we scavenge in the field. Now sealing kit, we can build it. Just need a lot more glass. And good as new. And that's what I like. So many of this game's problems, like there's 1,000,001 things that can go wrong for you, but all of it, for the most part, can be solved by preparedness, and sometimes you can even be prepared in the field. It's starting to get late, but I can't help but love this ambiance. Ooh, and now we'll be able to answer the age-old question: do we get to keep our happy hairs after we transition between an area if they're still attached? Maybe we are getting to a point where headlights might be necessary. It's just you're taking all these cool colors and sort of polluting them with warmth, you know? dumpster pearl. Slice a pearl in half and you'll find thousands of layers of precious materials formed around a core. Break one of these apart and who knows what'll pop out. Oh, and theories number 2. So I'll have to collect that log. Listen, between you and me, ARDA is actually a cover-up. Look at that acronym. ARDA backwards is ARDA. That stands for the American Diamond Replication Association. Where have we heard that before? It was mentioned in the 1949 Taylor broadcast, before it was suddenly cut off by bad weather, when government assassins finally caught up with them and bumped him off for revealing the truth. America has been using the Olympic exclusion zone as a secret facility to manufacture diamonds. Gold, too. They use gold as a secure basis for the dollar, while diamonds are both insanely valuable and yet also extremely easy to transport, even smuggle. It's all obvious, really. I don't have to explain myself further. Do your own research. Oh, how fun, but now we've got to go. Alright, it's not quite as exciting as some of the other escapes, but it's one we're just gonna have to make for ourselves. Oh wait, no, here's the geysers to make it more exciting. And now would also be a great time for those deer to finally show themselves. One of them runs across the road at just the wrong moment, the sole survivor in the zone. But I see our exit ahead. Alright, Hare. Let's do some science. You didn't come with me. Intense radiation and eerie darkness. Now I wonder, are those splotches, are those water, or are those pockets of radiation? If I step outside, I'm not immediately overtaken. But still, we've not been in the mid-zone in the dark before, have we? And that's the door slamming behind us, letting us know that, for better or worse, we're in it now. We do thankfully already have enough to leave, so we absolutely could just do that. We of course don't want to do it just yet. Now's probably going to be one of our better opportunities to harvest some unstable. And in fact, I can see some up there. Maybe I should try scanning some of this flora. You know, eerie really is the perfect word to describe this darkness, isn't it? Like, it feels like I've dropped down into some giant's digestive system that just happens to resemble a road. Yep, and that radiation is all over. I believe it saps our battery. Alright, let's try and get over there. I feel like Little Red Riding Hood, like I need to stay on the path or something bad is gonna happen. But when it comes to exploration in this place, something bad's gonna happen if we don't get off the path. Okay. In you go. This is very, very important stuff to have at this stage. I honestly, the way that sounded, I thought that I should be looking in the back seat. Like, it was how clear it was. Alright, let's do some scavenging, but be ready to dip. some of you guys out there. Good, we have not gotten any new chemicals or gas cylinders in a while. Take. I like how, ooh, transmuter. I've done a little bit of reading on what those things, like how they actually work, and they don't seem particularly useful based on what I've read. Anything else? Is that all? Thank you. Goodbye. It's gonna get closer and closer to us, isn't it?
If you're like me and you hate going to the dentist, try.
Let's shut you off, okay? My electronics are completely messed up around here. Maybe I should go sooner rather than later. God. This is literally rock bottom in SpongeBob. Okay. We'll grab the next anchor and go. We're just trying to forge a path ahead. That's all we need, and that's all we should care about. Our battery is draining, maybe not rapidly, but faster than I'm comfortable with. But I'm seeing red lights off in the distance. What are those? God, if this is the mid-zone, do I even want to think about the deep zone? There's more of those weird towers. And there's our objective. I get the impression that this whole area is hot and humid. Although maybe it is just the Pacific Northwest in summer. God. How do I protect against whatever's going on here? There must be some way, right? Some parts I can get? Park. In you go. Alright, now let's just get to a safe distance and see which of these gates we can open. There's just so many things happening at any given time. And that's the cool thing about this, is that it's not like it's just giving you a death world like so many roguelike games. It's just that it's got a lot of little things happening constantly, and it makes the whole place just feel so alive. At least our door isn't opening, which is frustrating because it makes it harder to diagnose. Oh, look at you. There's like a green line running along you, like you're being siphoned or something. I don't think you're a field truck, though. Cough box. It's difficult. Yeah, I'm gonna read this when we get home. I'm reading that when we get home because I know something's gonna interrupt me. Crude panel, we do not need that. Lots of rads, but we're being protected to an extent. Okay. There is another Arta truck for us to get. Ooh, that's a lot of things. Alright, we don't have the most fuel in the world. I'm not sure if we should top off before trying to leave. Wait, I don't think you were in the road before. We could top off our gas right here. Well, that sure is convenient. Actually... Oh, you are like moths or butterflies or something. I was actually kind of starting to doubt whether you were anything recognizable at all. The splashlight is on its way out, but that's actually kind of okay, because we have the means to build the upgraded one now. I've kind of come to see this as the unofficial theme of the game, to be honest. Anytime it's come on, it's never been my choice, and it's always been very, very appropriate, oddly enough. God, I just cannot get far enough away from this easy one. Which I guess makes it not so easy, huh? All this radiation. God, oh, look at our battery. Come on. Okay, there we go. Not even gonna bother turning around. Link gateway, come on. Let's hit the road, Jack. Thing about those large stacks of wrecks is I can never tell if they're those traps. And wow, this is actually diminishing really quickly. Is that going to be a feature of the mid-zone? Because this is really putting me to the test. I'm starting to think we really, really need that new engine. But for that, we need those, like, sap crystals, whatever they were called. We may have to go off-roading. It's just, I'm used to being a fair bit ahead, and that lead is going to diminish. Yep. Oh, no. Oh, this would be an awful place to end it. Yep. Escape through a gateway while the car's wheels are airborne. I didn't think they were, but here we are.
You seen these readings, Francis? Gateway opens like blah, 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 and the car goes pow. Sensors go. The Shuttlesphere. The Shuttlesphere. Oh, it's my favorite part.
Well, I'm glad you find it entertaining. Hydro generator would have been real useful before, and we can mount you to... Can we mount you to the hood? No. Maybe to the side panel? Yes, there we go. Maybe we could even mount more than one for additional generative abilities. But it would have kept us going more there. Newsflash, Olympia, June 27th, 1969. Washington biologist and bear expert Paul Dean says he knows why the animals are no longer present on the Olympic Peninsula, though his bizarre theories and disruptive behavior have landed him in hot water. Bursting into a legislative session in the Capitol building this morning, Dean insisted that a conversation he had with a pod of orca had orca. So they don't all have to be from this point in time either, do they? I also can't believe it's taking me this long to finally make a steel bumper. But it has, so we can grab that and put you there. Boom. Alright, let's read the entry for cough box. It's difficult, you know? I mean, what do you tell a guy's mom? Do you say, "Sorry, Mrs. Baker, your son is just a glob of goo now"? Do you say, "It wasn't an entirely meaningless death. Those scientists probably got some data from it"? Do you say, "I saw him dissolve right in front of my eyes, but a lot of his clothing is still okay. Here's his superhero shorts"? He just ran straight into the thing. It was so pointless. I feel bad for her. They're asking why it won't be an open casket. For Christ's sake, you could pour him into a jar. You might as well pump him into the coffin. You might as well pump him into the coffin. Sad? No. I saw way worse things in the war, and they happened to people I cared about a lot more. This guy? This guy was a jerk. So you want to see that new Poitier movie? That guy's slick. Yeah, well, you say that. Alright, we really want the expanded locker, which requires 6 steel sheets, which is why I've been putting it off for so long, but at a certain point we've just got to do it. There we are. And this was really a long time coming because we really, really are desperate for more storage space, and that is certainly our prayers answered. God, there's just so much to do in this, you know? We can develop carbon fiberglass, which is probably the next step above steel, and certainly something that we want. As for you guys, we can go all the way up to something called Olympium. But for the most part, it's more about picking our poison. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. This car out here has begun giving us steel. Interesting. Well, I guess that means more parts when we need them, even more fuel in the tank. But it's still... I have not gotten over the idea that this car is itself an anomaly. We've now made ourselves the crude flashlight, which should be better in just about every way. Oh, yes it is. It's like carrying headlights with us. That's crazy. It's from here that things get a bit more complicated. We're just kind of trying to either outlast this or find a way around. But the instability does not favor us in moments like this. Guess we'll just have to keep it moving. I'm not sure if that actually worked or not. Occasional ominous reminder that others did in fact persist in here for some time. Although you have no idea how long dead the people who wrote that are. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start cutting like more and more of these journeys. This would be a great game to stream. But like on the simple basis that so much more of it is just becoming busy work. Just wait for the crossing. Leaky pipes? Call Arda. You know, it's only now I'm realizing I haven't actually seen these tourists in quite a while. Which is strange, they used to be absolutely everywhere. Alright. You abductors are threatening to make this an issue. Well, that just seems unfair. And the fog persists even in the tunnels. I've observed you guys consistently having trouble with these pipes. It doesn't seem like you actually have the ability to adjust your altitude the way you need to. Maybe we can use that to our advantage, or maybe that's just kind of corralling you in, trapping you in place. Yep. Moving into the mid-zone once more, and it seems like our zone condition is virulent acid. So we're gonna get to learn all about that, although it seems fairly straightforward. Well, look on the bright side. There's more energy right pretty much alongside each other. And it's not pitch black, so that's another thing we got going for us. It's crazy what passes for a good day around here. Yeah. Yeah. There's a little shack over here. Looks like there's not going to be any energy to be found in the plasma cells. Everything is just like glowing in such a sickly way, you know? Oh, we can take all that. We can get a flare gun. Not quite sure the utility of that, but it's a thing. Oh, there's the extent of our flare capacity. We finally hit it. Is that all? Oh, there's a room back here. And take. Maybe now we can make ourselves a scrapper. Got all that movement. That is weird, seeing like movement that goes with wind for sure, but doesn't quite match the intensity. Here come the radiation clusters, which is the sign that it is our time to split. Just in time, too. Built myself a new scrapper. We scavenged some electronics from that tower, or station. I don't know, words don't word when you're in a place like this, but it's moments like this I have to appreciate the varying paces that the different challenges give you. It does actually give you a lot of time to just take in the atmosphere, you know? And it's part of why I love the fact that this is a driving game first and foremost. We've got our safety bubble, and we've got to make sure we're responsible for seeing to it that it's not compromised. It feels like it very easily could be compromised. Look at all this, these little embers glowing in the dark. Can we perhaps learn about them? Looks like there's some kind of big overpass. Is that a bridge or is it more pipeline? Our battery is really low, actually. Battery. 1963. Oh, and another thing. We're installing new transformers and battery farms across all facilities as of this week. Folks, this is an extensive upgrade that's going to take a few months. Now, you're going to notice a few changes in some of the technology we implement. We're switching out some transformers, using shielded systems wherever we can now because interference is so bad, and we're trying a new type of battery. Some of you will be cleared to work with this technology, and some of you won't. But I can't skirt around this one. Whether you're allowed to work with it or not, you're sure as hell gonna notice it anyway. I trust you well enough at this point to know you won't ask questions that you know you shouldn't, or ask your friends and colleagues anything that puts them in a difficult position. Just know that technology moves fast these days, and when you need to know, we'll let you know. This LIM stuff has been good to us, and it's part of our job to respect the rules and keep confidence, okay? So, got that, everyone? I'll speak more on this with those of you cleared for the LIM briefing at midday. Everyone else, keep your heads down. Got that? So that's actually not a product of the zone, although some of the stuff all around that's coincidentally of the same color might be. I'm hearing some very disturbing noises from here. And despite counting as a building, I'm not seeing any way to get inside here. Maybe we can slip through? No. A whole lot of dangers over here. Yes, yes. You're hearing like a talk show for a second. Yeah, I'm just kinda... Stop. I'm just kinda hoping to keep this as simple as possible. Or is this just radiation doing electronic interference? Yeah, my big worry right now is that this thing is gonna end up like running my battery down, just doing those weird quirks like running the lights and honking the horn and turning on the radio. There we are. And there should be another one very close by. We'll just do this all from here rather than risk moving the car around. I really do just want to go. Wow, that was a direct hit. Yeah, this is why having the car is good. They're all gonna start popping. So move towards the ones that already have. They're always very close to disaster. But we've got you. Let's have a peek inside. Whoa, that's almost too bright for in here. It is a laser light show out here. Quiet. Our battery is so low. It's so low. I think... Look, I don't want to miss out on this thing that's in the center of the map, though. I think we're just going to have to jump it at a certain stage. Unless we can find another one of those charge stations. Wow, all emanating from you, huh? An Arda truck, ugh. Which clearly is not beyond the reach of that artillery. Alright, let's leave you here and see what we can do. We've got the... Okay, so maybe being right here isn't the best. But you've got a lot of good stuff for us. Can't deny that. Tree candy. It's cold but juicy, says Oppie's notes. That's a description that's both profoundly uncomfortable and yet utterly impossible to unhear. Found in The Scorch. What do you mean, tree candy? Okay, well, in any case, there was another one of those logs, or at least I think logs, over in this direction. You guys don't have a scan. This is all very radioactive. Oh, look, it's the remains of the old power infrastructure. And there is what we're looking for.
Welcome back. This is Frequency File, Episode 2. In the last episode, I told you about the curious case of Dr. Ophelia Turner. When it comes to this enigmatic individual, one of three versions is true. Myth, martyr, or monster.
To be able to weigh her in turns as heretic, genius, scapegoat, we must first set the stage. When I started down this path to discover who she was, what she did, and ultimately what happened to her, I didn't expect it to lead me to one of the strangest mysteries of the Pacific Northwest, the Olympic Exclusion Zone. But let me rewind a bit. In northwest Washington state, there are 3,600 square miles of vibrant wilderness called the Olympic Peninsula. Bounded by water on 3 sides, it was a wonderland for outdoorsy types, with snow-capped mountains and salmon-bearing rivers and pristine rainforests. Up until 1955, it was the residence of 100,000 people, including Ophelia Turner. It was her birthplace, her hometown, and, it turns out, ground zero and sacrificial lamb for the promise of LIM technology. In true fashion, the government never comes out and says that's what led to the creation of the Olympic Exclusion Zone. But the chain of events were in plain sight. Strange accidents, leading to the government's claim of eminent domain and subsequent seizure of the peninsula. The evacuation of 100,000 people, and the attempt and abject failure at containing the rumors that spread like wildfire. Because it turns out, even with the government's resources at your disposal, keeping secrets is a tricky business. You can bet there was plenty of talk as a result. Lucky me, because I had plenty of questions.
God, look at this. Just sitting here in the middle of a storm, enjoying because we're safe in our tank of a car, listening to what is essentially a podcast, and there's even utility in doing so because look, that thing is slowly but surely charging our battery. I truly love this game, you guys. In fact, I'm almost tempted to enjoy this a little longer, even if I'm sure that's probably not wise. Alright, so the plan is we're going to come out this way. If that's far enough, we'll activate this portal. If not, then we'll do the other one. And get out of here. I think we've got enough battery at this stage. Oh, but actually, I've got to figure out what that tree whatever is. So, Google says it's to do with the glowing red trees. Have I seen any such thing? Oh, great. It's a whole bunch of guys. It's a whole bunch of guys. Well, you know what? Don't mind if I scrap. Burp bunnies. Well, I'm happy to learn about you. You guys are actually giving me some extra stuff, it seems. You guys drop chemicals. You may be worth harvesting. Okay, well, we need a lot more plasma, so thank you. I'm guessing this is probably qualifying as a glowing red tree. Oh, here we go. Well, great timing. Source, Twisted Ember. Handvac is recommended, but I can pull you off on my own. It just takes a while. And that's our cue to get out. Okay. Okie dokers. Let's go. We need to gain enough distance to go through the portals. We've learned so much, we've gotten so much, but we don't learn nothing if we don't come back with the stuff. What is this angry-looking thing, and is it going to end my run? Sap compressor. 65. I think at last that we may have perfected the crystalline form of this strange new carbon sap. With Dr. Turner's focused electrostimulative limb induction, we can essentially grow crystals almost as casually as if we were doing a high school homework assignment. Perhaps I'm exaggerating a little here. We still need to set up the inductors on location, and they must be carefully monitored to avoid overgrowth as radiation, as we are not even close to observing consistent development. Still, the resource costs are low and the rewards are plain. We can begin to compress and shape sap, blah blah, greater quantities than ever. Extraordinary. Alright. Best bet right now is going to be to just, like, go for the farther one rather than trying to run farther away to get the thing. Come on. There we go. We just don't really have time for beggars to be choosers. I would really like to mess around with that sap thing, but we don't have time at all. Nope. We just gotta step on it. Yep. Also, please nothing break while we're at it. Oh, that's not good. That's really not good for any of us. We should still be able to make it. This terrain is not helping. Nor will those trees in front that I can barely see. Get in there. Oh no, please don't block me. Please don't block me. Please don't block me. Out we go. Well, that was exciting. We spent a long time out there, but there was so much to discover.
Oh, that gateway is so damn cool!
We need to go back into a scorching biome to see another one of those things. So we will take with us, I'm pretty sure there was a hand vac here. Told us we could use one, thank you. Twisted Ember. Typically, carbon only exhibits liquid properties at high temperatures and pressures, generally over 4,500 Kelvin and 100 atmospheres. A week ago, if you had asked me about the conditions in which I expected it to exist, I would have presented these figures. But after what seems to be a combination of mass hallucinations, seismic events, and radiation bursts, more and more of the zone is behaving differently. The environment, the weather, even substances and elements themselves seem altered, as if mutated. In the woods west of our facility, what appears to be some form of liquid carbon flows like sap through many of the torched or petrified trees. Certainly it is hot, but not so that it can't be collected and handled. Initial analyses showed that it still behaves and reacts like carbon, but in this new form it is lighter, less dense, and yet also burns more efficiently. We've collected several liters to further study. June 28, 1965. We were right. The compound is organic. I'll transmit a full analysis shortly, but in the meantime, the acidic effects come from a solution that appears to be primarily a mix of formic and hydrochloric acid, while the gelatinous qualities come from a fatty substance that seems to include something very similar to palmitic acid. The mix is precisely balanced. Exactly how it is synthesized is a mystery. The closest comparison I can make right now is to insects that also create organic acids, though we both know that's a stretch. Are we sure these things aren't alive? It's the question I've been asking for a long time, particularly about the abductors. Oh, look at this. We can actually see a complete log of our previous trips. So I guess the previous one was only our 10th? It feels like a lot more than that. Okay, here we are, sap compressor. We need only break them open with an impact hammer. Okay then, that's our goal. We just gotta go into that part of the zone, find these things, and break them open to get their sap. I always love having these really calm days just afterwards. Just after some real excitement. What's barely plugged? This part of the zone is so unstable that pulling a single anchor will cause an atmospheric shift. Oh, also, they have added a photo mode to this game. I'm pretty sure this wasn't here when I started the Let's Play. But yeah, there we go. Look at this. Of course, that framing right there is good. I just wanted to remove the HUD. Okay, and we can... Look, we've got the whole exposure and angles and whatnot. Oh, this is going to be great for thumbnails, isn't it? Wow, we really wandered off the trail here, huh? God, what a sudden, intense atmosphere change. Okay, now according to this thing in this zone, removing you should be real bad for everybody. Yep! Oh, wow, you weren't kidding. Okay, alright. Yep, and there's you guys and all kinds of just badness. Okay, get in there. I'm taking 2 of these out of spite. There we go. You're causing all kinds of damage, ain't you? Should I just be moving or should I be kicking you off? I want your stuff too, by the way. Yep. Let's leave. I can see we're not welcome. Yep, there we go. Yep. And right ourselves. Ooh, boy. Oh, the darkness. Oh, the horror. It's been a while since I've been in the middle of one of these. Rest stop facility. Well, corrosive waterways, so we don't want to drive through any of that. Looks like we've got corrosive roadways as well. But we could pass right on through if we wanted. Everything's in the middle of water, actually. Oh my god! I did not see you! Where did you... Well, that was everything and a half. Alright, we're gonna have to stop somewhere and repair. How about here? There's lots of materials we can use. Just one of those times. The problem right now is that we lack chemicals for repair putty. So hopefully we can find some at this place up here. God, I am really, really hoping we can. Oh, of course, you're the one that doesn't have any of what I'm looking for. What are you? Pickpocket? Wait, did you take something from me? I can't tell if you did or not. I still seem to have all my tools. Is there anything I can actually do about you? Problem is I can't afford to mess around too much right now. There's actually a lot in here, but all I care about is chemical swamp coral. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, you're just determined to give me everything but what I need. Marsh eggs. The organic material within these soft shells displays a remarkable, even alarming ability to regrow itself when harmed. If it could be synthesized with organic or semi-organic compounds, the applications could be remarkable. Steel panel. There we go. Oh, that broke instantly. There you go. There you... Hello? Do I trust a strange scrapper that just fell out of the sky? Answer, not really. Like, really not particularly. Suppose I'll take it and just try to break the other one, but really, we are actually extremely full on just about everything. Like, our trunk is completely saturated. I want to search for more chemicals, for more putty. Protection is still compromised, but I don't think I can because there's a storm a-rolling in. You guys leave me alone. This looks calm for the time being. But we're gonna have to spend a good amount of time scavenging. I'm always happy for mid-zone easygoingness, but we've just got to keep in mind how fast that can all turn. Because the ride out here was anything but easy. Thankfully, there's a lot of structures to scavenge, one of which is, like, immediately the one we need. And it looks like what we're looking for can be found immediately ahead, so... Well, I'm not going to say the stuff I want to say, because that's just tempting fate. Go. I do appreciate how, like, I was a little annoyed at first, thinking, man, there's, like, entire episodes where I don't advance the story at all. But it's a game that really is about the journey, you know? There we are. We can build some putty. That's another one of you transmuters. This is gonna hurt me, I think, but... Yep. There we go. So, touching you actually didn't hurt me. Seems like false advertising. Now it's just the door. But I think we're no longer compromised, so that's good. And just like that, we are healed. Once again, scrapping saves the day. We're gonna want even more of you. Oh, but here is where we're gonna want that hand vac, because it told us that we should use it. Ah, and we can just pull you all off directly and suck you right in. Okay, well now I'm kind of glad I left this thing on the rack. This would have made things so much easier before. Thank you. And I imagine that all goes straight into our inventory. Perfect. Not perfect, not perfect, not perfect, not perfect. Get in, quick, 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 quick. We don't need this right now. Come on. Yep, go, 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 go. Alright, these things do spawn in groups. They do spawn in groups, which means it's hammer time. We may actually have to build a new one soon, but that's okay. Oh, look at all that sap. There's more here than we found in the entire game up until this point, but the fact that it is found in armor proves that that's probably a similar application for us, right? Boom. Oh, this is so cool. I just feel like we're always learning, you know? And, like, not only are we always learning every time we go through an area, but we're always getting ideas for things we want to try next time, which does wonders for motivation. Look at that structure over there. Alright, back to the hand vac. More candy for me. At this point, I am just about ready to end the episode. We have done our job. We have made, how much is that? 18. Actually, maybe we need more. I think we do need more. Cool thing about this rain is that, like, it's good to have this passive thing that just takes care of your needs for you. It's just one less thing to worry about. What's not one less thing to worry about is finding more of this sap. We need more to build the next engine. That's my main concern. Oh, if you hit us, you do that, which is not good for the incoming radiation. Yep, navigating through the woods like that, not ideal. Well, you don't seem to have done a tremendous amount of damage to us. Certainly less than when you hit us directly. Oh, look. Some of this stuff. Well, we have all we need, but we could always use more of this. Let's try and get in here. With us. There we go, and there you are. Awesome, cool. Seeing potentially more out there. But it's not in an ideal location at all. Oh my god, what can I do about that? What can one do? Well, we can grab one of yous from here. That's something we could do. Oh, the impact hammer broke. That's right, we can make ourselves a new one. And as for you guys, you seem to have moved while I wasn't looking. Which is very convenient for me. Look, there's like glowing insects. No time to participate in the wonder, though. Just gotta make sure we don't touch you guys. Well, it may still not be enough, but it's at least more than what we had before. Actually, it may just be. I mean, given what we've got here, look, I think one more. If we can find even one more, that should be enough. There we go. I think that's it. I think that should be all we need. Put you in park. We're gonna gas you up while we're at it as well, just so that we have it, just to make sure. There's you. And just put something in to keep you rolling. Okay, that's enough. Now, smack and grab you. Oh, look at you go rolling down the hill. That's alright. I'm pretty sure even without you, I have everything. Get you. And now from down here, we can just catch everything else. Having the hand back in hand would have been nice. Now, if we get ourselves turned around, and it's rough terrain, but it's downhill rough terrain. So we should be able to do something with this. You're on a road. I think here's where we do it. Here we are. Let's go. Oh my god. You know, from my childhood, as soon as I activate one of these things, even divorced of context, all I hear is, with the frizz, no way. No such thing as a normal run, because all of them end with one of these. But we're off to a good start. Downhill will do that, as long as we don't hit a tree. George of the Jungle would be proud. Oh, if only we had time to grab that one. We're gonna need this for plenty more things. But we're well ahead of the instability. That was actually a pretty well-executed run, except for the mannequins.
Just you, me, and Francis. Peaceful, ain't it?
Yeah, peaceful. We're gonna need a good long while to recuperate. Lots and lots of damage to our vehicle. Forget damage, though. This has been a very long time coming. And we, I believe, should finally have the opportunity to upgrade. Now, where was that? Turbo light engine. It's ours. Our flux capacitor. Awesome. Now, what are the actual stats on that thing compared to the others? So that was 18 miles to the gallon, 128 horsepower. This, it's a little worse, but significantly stronger, which is what we really need. What it does mean, though, is that we're probably going to want to start looking into some fuel expansions, but that'll have to wait until next time. We're starting to get into some real advanced material science now, and we're really getting into the strangeness of the mid-zone. The cool thing about this is that it's progressing in such a way where you're always having to move forward and always learning more. And the more you think you know, the more you realize you don't know. Oh, and let us not forget, there's another upgrade we were due for, the Plasma Scrapper. Let's see what this thing can do, huh? Steel panels, almost full health. Cuts through like butter. Oh yeah. The more dangers it throws our way, the more abilities we have to throw right back. And if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.